A never-ending, continuously intriguing experience is learning about the past. Exploring the past through real images adds to the excitement. So in today's video, we have 40 vintage photos that are never shown before. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the video. During filming Funny Face in 1956, Audrey Hepburn, Fred Astaire and co-star Kay Thompson danced through the Eiffel Tower. For the musical, Hepburn performed all of her singing. Another image was captured from the Funny Face movie shoot. Fred Astaire is raising his hat before the Arc de Triomphe. Fred Astaire was an American dancer, choreographer, actor and a singer. He is often called the greatest popular music dancer of all time. For a 1974 picture shoot in Paris with photographer Lord Snowdon, yes, that Lord Snowdon, actress Lauren Bacall dresses to the nines. She had traveled to Paris to attend the Murder on the Orient Express shoot. During the 1963 Paris premiere of Lawrence of Arabia, nobody could keep their eyes off this actress, not even her Cleopatra co-star Richard Burton seated with her. They were married in Montreal. Judy Garland and French actor and singer Maurice Chevalier sang a duet together somewhere across the multicolored Atlantic Ocean. At Chevalier's Mons-la-Coquette home in 1960, the trio was entertained by actor Félix Paquet on the piano. On the steps of the famed Dowry Stairway at the Louvre Museum, actress and pin-up model Lana Turner sports pearls and chic attire. The winged victory of Samothrace sculpture, a marble figure of the Greek goddess Nike from the 2nd century BC, is situated behind her. Jackie Kennedy, a member of American royalty, is dressed to the nines in a stylish trench coat and trademark shades as she leaves for a day of shopping in Paris. In 1960, Mary Wilson, Florence Ballard, and Diana Ross posed in front of the Eiffel Tower and looked stunning. Talk about a breathtaking vista. The image of Audrey Hepburn posing in front of the Eiffel Tower is the definition of iconic. With co-star William Holden, the actress was on location filming Paris When It Sizzles. Because even the biggest rock stars in the world need their downtime, John Lennon plays his guitar while the band unwinds in the hotel room in Paris with their manager. As the founding member, co-composer, co-lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist of the Beatles, John Winston Ono Lennon, an English singer, songwriter, musician and peace campaigner, rose to international prominence. The rebelliousness and biting humor of Lennon's music, writing and artwork, as well as his performances on film and in interviews, were hallmarks of his body of work. Outside of the Château de Fontainebleau, which is close to Paris, the actress and comedian posed with her 2 kids, Lucy and Daisy Jr. In The Wild One, the infamous bad boy of cinema, Marlon Brando rides his motorcycle through the streets of Paris while being as tough as nails. Marlon Brando Jr. was an American actor. Considered one of the most influential actors of the 20th century, he received numerous accolades throughout his career, which spanned 6 decades. Continue watching this video to see the pictures, which, when combined with the fascinating stories behind them, give us a close-up look at the lives of people who are long dead. At the Trocadero, the Eiffel Tower is in the background as the blonde beauty waves to the photographers. Just beautiful. Lena Horne, a civil rights activist, Grammy-winning singer and dancer, dazzles the audience in Paris's Café Moulin Rouge. In Brooklyn, New York City, Horne was born. She grew up in New York City and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Her parents, Edna and Edwin Horne, got divorced when she was just 3 years old. Her grandparents were her housemates. Although her mother was a singer and actor, she did not have much success. When she enters Paris, the former actress became a princess and waves to the crowd. After an international flight, only royalty can look that good. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, who was his then wife, take a ride in a Messerschmitt 2-seater. She came to see him while he was filming Trapeze. Barbara Streisand descends a staircase at the Palais Garnier Opera Theatre while looking stunning in an evening gown and fur coat. Streisand is an American singer, actress and a director. With a career spanning over 6 decades, she has achieved success in multiple fields of entertainment and is among the few performers awarded an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and Tony. Before the musician's performance the following night, Bruno Coquetry, the music director of L'Olympia, welcomed him at Orly Airport. Bruno Coquetry was a French music producer, the owner and manager of the Olympia Hall in Paris from 1954 until he died in 1979. In February 1979, the Rocket Man strikes a pose in front of the Eiffel Tower. Victim of Love, the musician's 13th studio album, was released later that year. While visiting the Last Tango movie premiere in Paris with his sister, Georgiane Lapierre, the singer flaunts her signature look on the country's streets. She's an actress best remembered for her roles in Happy Days, General Hospital, and The Streets of San Francisco. Edward John Bartolak and she have been wed since that date in 1990. Formerly, she was wed to Michael Madsen. These French women would have cleaned their clothing by hand because the automatic washing machine was not invented until 1937, a period of 16 years. In this old photograph, they can be seen as piling pebbles just above the just-washed clothing. This picture shows ZT Ranch in Wyoming's Pitchfork Park County. The ZT was a component of the large and wildly renowned Pitchfork Ranch, a dude ranch made famous by Charles Belden's pictures. The Great Kahuna, often known as Duke Kahanamoku, was a native Hawaiian swimmer who won a medal at the Olympics. He was a person who made surfing a traditional Hawaiian sport known to the rest of the globe. He can see hanging 10 off the shore of Hawaii in this old photograph. Jack Johnson was the first black American to hold the title of world heavyweight champion and one of the most famous and successful boxers of the 20th century. He is seen in this image using his tremendous power to complete some wintertime tasks. This 1921 image depicts a Chicago police officer looking for a potential bathing suit law infraction. Your outfit could only rise 6 inches above the knee back then. These restrictions only applied to women, as it was acceptable for males to wear trunks that cut high on the thigh. Famed Russian-American composer Igor Stravinsky is best known for his ballets. In 1921, Stravinsky was living in France with his family and playing piano excerpts for the pianist Arthur. This snap shows a French woman in Paris, France, seen with 6 bottles of wine and a baguette. In 1984, Princess Diana greeted the cast of the Royal Variety event and got to know comedian Rowan Atkinson. The narrative of Julian Kepke contains one of the most astounding plane disasters with a single survivor. When Lanza Flight 508, which she was on, crashed into the Amazon rainforest, she was just 17 years old. Scientists visited a hospital ward in 1922 where there were diabetic youngsters, the maximum of whom were unconscious and dying of diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA. This moment is one of the most amazing moments in medical history. Picture a room full of parents waiting by their child's bedside for the child's impending death. The Harlem Hellfighters, an African-American infantry battalion, engaged in more combat than any other American unit during World War I. He is seen holding a puppy, which he saved from the Great War in this picture. This one is a moving portrayal of a young man protesting the inadequate pay of teachers in New York in the 1930s. While a teacher makes $17.78 a week, their former student makes $21. There's a fascinating backstory behind Albert Einstein and his open-toed sandals. David Rothman, photographed with Einstein above, was in charge of supplying pricey shoes in 1939. After receiving their Oscar for the film Good Will Hunting, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon called their mothers. In Melbourne, Australia, in the 1940s, a father surprises his little daughter by showcasing his talent. This image depicts a man killed by an animal while pursuing his passion for photography. The suffragette movement was an early 20th century campaign for women's voting rights. There is much marriage advice on the internet, but this is perhaps the strangest and it will make you giggle. It is a 1918 booklet written by a suffragette. Marriage advice was given in the pamphlet, especially to young females. Don't get married at all is the first command. This image is of a mother and her toddler enjoying a park visit most likely falls into the weird and funny categories. Mom is crocheting peacefully on a bench as the baby is under a garbage can. This image comes from the day John Travolta and Princess Diana danced. Princess Diana's desire was fulfilled when John Travolta led her around the dance floor during a royal visit to the White House with President Ronald Reagan. The final image shows a pet koala drinking from a spoon. Nowadays, koalas are receiving treatment in Australia for burns and dehydration caused by bushfires. That's all for today's video. For more such interesting content, give this video a big thumbs up and drop a comment. Subscribe to us for more such content, and we'll see you at the next one.